Hey kids, you sick of the same old thing on game night? I love me some Warhammer, but blah blah blah. I love D&D night, but all these campaigns are stale. But there's nothing else, there's nowhere to turn. Well, stop it. Just stop it. Because the Keep Studios has you covered. They've already released their first DCC, or Dungeon Crawling Classic, adventure, for the late person, called Sword in the Jungle Deep. And they're hard at work on their next one called Soul for the Ocean Dark. These names are awesome. This is tabletop RPGs written, created, and tested by fans of the genre. But Robbie, I don't want to spend buckets of money on a new game from a group I'm only now hearing about. What if it's not good? Well, you know what? Stop it again, because not only have I done work with these guys, but I've gamed with them. And on top of that, if that's not enough for you guys, you can get a 40% off discount through Drive-Thru RPG. What more can you ask for? So next game night, why not try out a real game created by real gamers over at thekeepstudios.com. The Keep Studios, game like you party, and by that, I mean hard. Today on our show, we've got some awesome podcasters. We haven't had them on in a while, and they had to stop by to wish you guys a happy Halloween. Check out who I'm talking about next on Nerdynomicon. Welcome to the Nerdynomicon. I'm Robbie, and I'm joined with the Irrational Fears team.
And I'm apparently really fucking bad at being a guest on anybody's show. I think it is so crystal clear at this point.
Oh my god, dude, you're fine. Both of you are fine. Amanda she was just so excited to get right in. She's like, "Hi, everybody." I'm like, the episode proper hasn't started yet.
Episode
that
proper.
was just the intro.
Welcome to episode proper.
That's the title of this episode, or we riot. Oh shit!
I'm in. I'll at least have it in parentheses. It'll be there. Episode proper.
It's beautiful.
With Irrational Fears. So how you guys been, man? It's been a while since I've had you on. I've been talking about you like crazy, but I haven't had you on the show in a while. I don't think I've had Amanda on an actual episode, period. She was on that one bonus episode.
Right, and then you scrapped us because who knows why, but
That's probably because I didn't shower that night. I don't blame him.
probably.
We've been fucking busy, dude.
It's been 2017 has been the year for us, it seems. We got engaged, we got married, and nothing slowed down since we actually filmed that in July, was it? The episode that never aired? The episode that never was.
I think so.
Yeah, it must have been because it was hot as fuck at Disneyland, so that would make sense.
Yeah, it was right around there. It was the same day that the first trailer for The Last Jedi dropped. So I'm like, hey, I want to get a bunch of podcasters together to talk about this. And Anthony's like, dude, I'm in. I'm in California.
It was May.
I'm not doing anything like that, but I am in. I'm like, all right, right on.
I was literally going like 110 miles an hour through Bakersfield when I fucking wrote that text message.
He goes, oh yeah, by the way, like we're gonna jump on one more episode. I was like, all right, whatever. I'm going to Disneyland, so I don't care.
I love it. The episode wasn't entirely scrapped. It is up as a Patreon exclusive.
There you go.
The reason that I didn't produce it full was simply because David Duncan was on there from Synthaholics, and he was unable to put his audio in, and it just came out really awkward. Trying to sync all of the audio bits up, it was very, very awkward. So I ended up not wide releasing it and just gave it to the Patreon listeners.
Oh, I'd love to hear that awkward episode. Are we in it?
Yes, you're in it.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, of course you're in it, man.
Me too, actually.
Yes,
I think
you too.
You were sitting next to me. I'd be surprised if you weren't.
So, I mean, we've been giving you guys shout-outs. We've been talking about your marriage. Congratulations in person, by the way.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I kept on hearing, things are going to slow down. We'll get together. We'll do some work together. And then nothing ever slowed down for you guys.
That's a fucking understatement, it feels like.
We're hoping. So it has been crazy over here for a couple of reasons. We had a surprise move a month ahead of schedule, which completely threw a wrench into 31 Days of Horror because we've been scrambling through a move and then trying to get equipment ready, and then, you know, the tragedy happened here in Las Vegas, and it kind of threw everything off a bit, and, you know, some other things happening in our personal lives that we haven't discussed publicly yet. And it seems like it's just not slowing down. We're just adjusting to the new speed. So
No, I hear you on that, man. I mean, we've been expanding into YouTube. We've wrapped up the writing portion for the horror podcast, so we're starting slowly to move into production on that. So, I mean, I hear you on the speed front. I'm just glad to finally get you guys on. It is not Halloween without Irrational Fears in the house.
Hey. That's hella fucking spooky. Oh, I just started playing the Star Wars trailer. Sorry. I wanted to see what day it was on. April 14th. I've been looking this whole time. We still haven't watched the newest trailer. I'm like, I want to go in a little dark.
We're going in blind, actually. I don't even remember the first trailer, truthfully. I remember that recording that episode, but I don't remember the trailer. So we'll be going in with fresh eyes.
So, damn, dude. So you guys and Adrian are of a kindred mindset with that. Because not only did I watch it, Brooke and I did a reaction video to it immediately after it dropped. And we threw that up on YouTube. That's completely unedited. Unscripted, unedited.
That's the best way to do it.
I agree. The downside is, because we're still a very, very young YouTube channel, essentially you could just hear the trailer playing in the background because, you know, Star Wars is now owned by Disney and you gotta pay the fucking mouse. So we were a little bit nervous to have the footage for the trailer. So we didn't actually put the trailer up. So basically the entire audience was a bunch of cuckolds. They're watching us watch the trailer. They're like trailer cucks. But you know what? It worked. It worked out fine.
That is only the second time I've ever heard a person use that word.
But in such a...
You're welcome?
It's such a beautiful like flow of words. I was into that. I was like, tell me more.
I'm intrigued by this. I'm down. I don't know what it means, but I'm down.
That's the fucking scary part, doing anything with Disney.
Robust.
I know. Dude, you gotta pay the fucking mouse, man.
Tell me about it. Let me explain to you. I've been paying the mouse since my fucking wedding. Oh, can I swear?
On the Nerdynomicon?
Oh, come on.
Probably the fuck not.
So
by the way, Ogre, shout out to one of our brand new, very ardent listeners, Ogre. Cock.
Dicks. There's so many dicks.
So many penises. We got a big cock and balls on the wall over here.
I cannot believe you asked that, Amanda. Yes, you can swear on the Nerdynomicon.
I'm sorry, it's been a while, okay? Anyway, I've been paying that fucking mouse since I got married because we had to do, like, payments on the honeymoon, which is going to be in Disney World, which is going to be in, like, 2 weeks.
Oh my god, 2 weeks to Disney World?
Yeah, November 3rd. So...
Oh, dude, you guys have so much fun, okay? They opened up Pandora.
Yo.
So you guys can go to the Animal Kingdom, take some pictures at Pandora.
Yay.
You guys gonna go to Universal while you're down there too?
I don't think so. We originally were going to, but because we're staying on property at Disney World, getting out of there is a fucking nightmare, from what I'm told.
Off the mic, I'll give you guys some directions. I've gone several years in a row. I'll give you guys some pointers.
Okay. The other thing
I'm a Disney veteran, man.
It's more expensive to go to Universal for one day than it is to go to Disney for one day, and I don't feel like I have the money for that.
Touché.
After paying, I think we got our package for the room and the tickets alone was $1860. 1862.
That was a good year.
It was a good year. And that's not including like the $700 we spent on airfare. And then, like, the money we need to, like, feed ourselves and shit, so.
Right.
I'm like, Universal can wait. Plus, probably need to take it easy.
I hear you on that, man. So, talk a little bit about what's been going on with the Irrational Fears project. Because I'm familiar with just the podcast, but you guys have been expanding in a big, bad fucking way.
It's pretty scary, honestly. I am irrationally scared of it. If I had to put it into words.
Just putting so much, trying to put too much on our plate at once with the little bit of time that we have free.
The side of, so I think the podcast has obviously been the centerpiece, and the thing that we have wanted to do is diversify the content. So we're obviously still doing the trusted and true narrations, but we're also introducing the Fears episode, which you know about, and we saw the original one posted a couple months ago. The comic corner, which will be specifically around horror comics. Reading.
So if any of your listeners have any good horror comics,
send them over. Yeah.
Oh, we got some good comics for you guys. Plus, we got some good guests to send your way too.
Actually, Ben is the one who did our first. That it's the same Ben, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I started to talk and I was like, maybe I'm wrong. And he's giving Irrational Fears listeners 50% off the first issue. So
right on, man.
Right now, yeah. If you have any listeners that want to jump over and grab it, it makes it like $1.50, I think.
Something
it's like
that,
chump change
for the PDF format or
both. I think.
Yeah, well, you can get the physical also half off, but I don't know how the shipping.
Oh, it might be $1 more, but
either way.
Yeah.
And this is Polybius Dreams, the comic that we've been hyping. Yeah. Guys, if you have not checked it out, check this out. 50% off.
It's literally no
Irrational
reason
Fears.
at this point.
Are you serious?
And the code is irrational, yeah?
I think so. I have to go find my texts with Ben. It's been a while.
It's been a while
since I could
looked at
hold
fucking
my
heart on my
head
sleeve.
high.
I don't know this song. I'm a terrible person.
You did great, though. I'm proud of you. I actually think we posted it on Facebook, so I'm going to pull that up really fast.
So while she's doing that, we also have the YouTube channel that we're trying to grow, but I'll be damned if that's not the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, YouTube is a tough beast, man. We've been slowly growing. We really threw a lot of focus into it in the last couple of weeks. We finally got enough listeners to customize the domain. We're pumping out content for the new batch. After I was done recording with Madison Martin from Rover Red Podcast, we were talking off mic a little bit, and she's going to be joining the team. So she's going to be starting to produce some videos for us over there. So things are picking up in a big bad way. Now is the time to subscribe to not only Nerdynomicon, but Irrational Fears. Because we're going to have content between both of these channels that is just going to blow your fucking mind.
You're not going to have any free time anymore. It's going to be jumping between Nerdynomicon and Irrational Fears videos. I think that's all there is to it.
It's
basically
true. It's true. We're going to monopolize your time and turn all of y'all into cucks. That's what's going to happen. We're going to do nothing but watch trailers, and you're going to watch us watch the trailers. That's how we're going to do this. I'm lying to you. We're going to do so much more than that.
Unless that's what you want to see. Then, there'll be some
Yeah, if that's what you want to see, you dirty, dirty birds, I mean, we'll do it. I mean, we'll team up to do it. Anthony and I'll sit in a room, and we'll be like, I don't know, do you want to watch the trailer for Showgirls, I guess?
Okay, so, sorry, I just found it. The official discount code for 50% off of the first issue of... Is it Polybius or Polybius? Because I've heard it both ways.
I say Polybius, but tomato.
Right.
Dreams. Irrational. IRRATIONAL.
But it's
50% off at checkout.
Not just Polybius, it's also Man in the Diner, the Polybius Dreams digital issue, and the print edition. So.
Well, excuse me, it's a lot of shit.
I'm just saying.
Go fucking use it.
Go use that, man. Is insurance included in that, by the way?
I'm not 100% sure, if I'm being honest. I know that I got a copy of insurance.
So good. So damn good.
Oh, God. Everything that Ben fucking puts out is good. It really makes me... I hope
hey,
that he
Ben.
can get up. I'm hoping he can get up. There,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's really hoping he can get up. Cox. Also...
No, he's just so talented. Such an amazing content creator. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Amanda. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. Just another thing that has come up for us actually, we found out right before we moved that we were officially getting the rights, or the word...
We get to do
the first, and sell independently the Tommy Taffy novel, Third Parent.
No shit.
Yeah.
We'll be doing the audiobook for that.
I will buy it, but not listen to it because, damn it, Anthony, you haunt my nightmares.
Yeah, we were getting into bed last night, and Amanda was like, "Do you want to do the first chapter of Third Parent?" And I was like, "You have to sleep, so that's probably not a good idea."
Dude, that dry laugh that you do as far as Tommy goes, I've tried to mimic it when I've talked about it to other people. That
Don't stop. I can hear it.
I cannot do you justice at all.
But I can do you.
Justice? My name's not
whatever
Justice.
you want to be called in the bedroom, man. There's no judgment here at Nerdynomicon. No judgment.
Where are the other drugs going? I honestly don't even know where that came from. I got to give more credit to Elias in the way that he fucking wrote it, because it just feels right.
I agree. Just the description that he gives Tommy, the way that you narrated it, it just felt so organic. You know, you have that dark, sinister, yet childlike whimsy. Where I'm almost picturing... You remember that episode of The Simpsons where all of the giant marquee things come to life? And it's almost like a kaiju movie? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Next pop culture reference. Anthony's never watched The Simpsons. I'm gonna go crawl into a hole,
dude.
Let me.
Okay.
Call me when you need me. I'm gonna be burying myself in the backyard.
Okay.
He doesn't watch
R.L.
South
Stein,
Park
Night
either.
of the Dummy. Do you remember Night of the Dummy?
That one I do, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, one of his fears.
The way he described and the way you narrated Tommy Taffy, it almost felt like Slappy from Night of the Dummy, mixed with Gage from
Borderlands
Salem's
2.
Lot.
Got it.
No, Salem's Lot. No, not Salem's Lot. Fuck, what's the matter with it? Pet Cemetery. God damn it.
Okay, I got you. Yes.
Yes.
That's what something that like
organic.
You would see it and you would hear him and you're like, "Oh, I want to be that person's friend." And then you're like, "Oh, they're fucking terrifying. Leave me alone."
Yes, that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Oh shit. Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I mean that very sincerely. Now, Anthony, we talked a little bit about how you got into Irrational Fears. You mind giving us a little bit of a quick recap? Because I also want to talk to Amanda about how she ended up joining the cast. Because I originally just thought that you brought a voice actor in. I didn't realize that Sailor was connected in the network.
Oh, and boy, am I connected.
Anthony. So how did you get into all this, man?
God, it's a quick recap would be that like 15 years ago, I was like, I think that people are scared of a lot of weird shit. So I'm going to try and find out what all that weird shit is, and I'm going to write some stories about it. And then I was like 12 years old, so I didn't talk to people about that kind of stuff. And I had a little notebook that I would just scratch weird things down in, and as time went on, I started writing, and I tried to revive it. I actually just found my old email addresses that I was posting on like Tumblr and shit to try and get people to send me their fears. Literally last week. It's a weird coincidence that we're talking about it. And then a certain somebody asked me to read her a scary story in bed and just was like, you should read to everybody on the planet. And then I was like, funny story about that, because that's what I want to do, and now here we are.
Such a cool fucking story, man. I mean, I was talking with Madison about this on the episode she was on. My first trip into online horror was actually Mr. Creepypasta. And such a fucking beast with the narration.
He seems to be like, that's a lot of people's catalyst for it. So appreciate him for that, if anything.
Absolutely. So he was my jumping off point. He was my touchstone. And then from there, I graduated like you do into the No Sleep podcast. And, I'm checking out other things. And then I get linked to you through MJ, who's also going to be on here.
We have one of his stories that's going to be up this week, too. His first one in fucking months. I'm so excited.
Exclusive.
That's awesome, dude.
Big.
Irrational Fears.
So MJ linked me up with you, and I'm starting to check out the podcast. And originally, I thought that Irrational Fears was MJ doing the narration because you never said your name on there. Mm-hmm. So I'm listening to all of these, and I'm like,
that'll
all right, so this is MJ.
For the rest
I'm in.
Of my career.
So I'm like, I'm in a big bad way. And then I'm sitting down and I'm talking with him before the show. And I'm just like, yeah, I checked out your show. Oh, that's not my show. He just reads some of my stories. That's this other guy. I'm like, okay then. Who is this other guy? Because I want to talk with him.
He's hot as fuck. That's who he is.
There you go. There you go. I've seen pictures. I can attest.
Yeah,
Anthony, you got to work
some more.
I'm working on it.
So and that was how I got linked up with you. And I've got to be honest with you, man. I've gone all the way back to the first things that you posted, or at least the first things that I have access to, and to hear your evolution as an audio narrator has been mind-boggling, especially in approximately the last year.
He's a Charizard.
He is a Charizard. He's just evolving, man. So to hear where you started and to up to Infected Town and Life is Beta, you've become on the level of Mr. Creepypasta as far as narration. You're a goddamn beast.
Well, that's saying I've never heard that before. That is,
I
don't even
mean
know
that
what to
very
say to
sincerely.
that.
It's exciting to hear somebody else say that to him, truthfully.
There's a lot of great horror narrators out there. I mean, I've even got my favorites even in the No Sleep podcast, and you can hang with that caliber, man. You are on that level. So it's going to be really exciting to watch where you guys go from there. Now, Amanda, I think it was actually during Infected Town that I was introduced to your style. And I thought you were just like a voice actress that was brought on, like a friend of the family or something. He's like, I need a female voice in here. And then because Anthony and I became friends, I found out who you were. How did you get involved in this? Did he just look at you and he's like, I need a chick voice. You're in. And you're like, I don't want to do it. And he's like, you're doing it. And you're like, I don't want to do it. I'll withhold sex. All right, I'm doing it.
It was more romantic than that, I'd like to say. Okay. Actually, I did.
I like my version better.
I did Uncle Jerry's
Family Fun
Zone back in November,
it
December.
Was the 1 year anniversary was actually, it was on 31 Days of Horror. So like, yeah.
Oh, so it was last October I did it.
Okay.
We had another friend of ours on, and I read for the female part, and I, in my own personal life, or have been a musician and always interested in voice acting, but I've never been like, yeah, go get it. But when he was doing this, I was like, yeah, if you ever need a female voice, I'll do it. Like, I don't mind at all. And it's interesting, actually. He made me audition for Uncle Jerry's. I had to send him a fucking audio clip.
Look,
and he had other girls.
Just because you got an in doesn't mean you've got an in, is all I'm saying.
He had other girls audition as well, and I was looking at him like, so, are you gonna pick?
And to everybody else that auditioned, it wasn't just because she was my girlfriend. It was just the best choice, and it worked out. I'm just saying.
But yeah, it started there, and then when we heard from Jess that we were going to get Infected Town, it was just something that I understood I was going to be doing, because that story is like 80% female.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like at least 2/3 female. Minimum.
Yeah. And I was excited about it. I was nervous that the listeners wouldn't be as excited, because I know myself, like, Anthony has a very unique voice, and like I would come to listen to Anthony's voice. So
right.
To get a new episode and it be predominantly, or in some cases they were all me, I was worried about how that would be taken by our audience, and it exceeded expectations, I think, for both of us.
Accurate.
Right on, man. Right on.
Yeah.
And I mean, both of you guys have unique voices too. I mean, you're giving the credit to Anthony, and Anthony, you deserve that credit, but you both have very unique voices. What I look for in horror narration is not somebody to just tell me the story, but the way they tell it, the inflection, the emotion, and even more than that, the pipes. You know what I mean? And Anthony, you put a lot of sex in the voice, dude. I mean, you've got that smooth operator thing going on, but you can also bring it with the fear.
God damn, he does.
He does. He really does. Now, unfortunately, I have not gotten the feed to a lot of the podcasts lately, so I need to ask, have you done the showers yet, like I asked you to? And if not, Why?
I have not been able to get in touch with the author, and I'm trying to find out, because I just did Mr. Widemouth last night.
Good story.
So I'm trying to see if this is just one of those, like, cultural household name creepypastas that, like, the author just doesn't exist anymore, or what? Because I just don't feel right without talking to them.
No, that makes perfect sense. As I've told you before, man, that is one of my all-time favorites. Oh,
yes.
The showers just gets me.
And he hasn't been on Reddit
The
for
shower gets
8
you?
months, so it's
Holy shit! Yeah,
It's
the showers get me. That's right. That's right.
Right in the dick. Anyways,
so I think that's pretty much the story. It was one day I was guest narrating, and then the next day I was the co-host, and he refuses now to call himself the host. He only refers to himself as a co-host, which I can't change it. But
I hear you.
here we are. It's a family operation now. It's
damn right.
husband and wife.
Right on, man. So, what are you guys doing for the Halloween season? I mean, obviously, you guys have been working on the 31 Days of Horror as far as the podcast goes. What about in your personal time when you're not Irrational Fears co-hosts? You're just Anthony and Amanda. What are you guys doing? Are you observing the horror movie tradition?
Sorry, I just jumped right in there. I have not been feeling well lately, so in most of our free time I have admittedly been in bed, but I like to fall asleep to or rest to absolutely any B horror film that's playing on Netflix. I will watch them all, no matter how
Fucking love it.
The worse they are, the better.
We celebrated Friday the 13th by regretfully going to see Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
Oof.
It was bad.
That bad?
No.
I haven't seen it yet, and I'm so excited to see this movie.
I
It's
disliked
a horror
it a
movie
lot.
version of Groundhog Day.
It was not that bad, but I will say I am not good at predicting endings or anything like that, and I guessed it early on. So,
Really?
like, Anthony's usually like, this is going to happen, and then this is going to happen, and this will be the color of their room at the end, and I'm like, how the fuck did you know that? But, like, I called this one, like, early on in the movie. So I wouldn't say that it's bad. It is campy, and it is probably what you'd expect it to be. It's not going to win a fucking award or anything like that, but it was what everybody needed it to be. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because I messaged Robbie on Skype and I said it's bad.
I've got commentary going from two different directions.
I think it is worth the watch.
Yeah,
like
I'll
two
say
podcasters, one cup. I will eventually watch it, but I mean, I've been getting a lot of negative feedback that people have been giving me, so maybe it's one that I'll wait till video. There's so many good or bad in a good way movies that are out there. I mean, I would feel really betrayed if I wasted my time on it, but the concept is so good.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I mean?
pulled me in 100%.
The concept is so good, and it's nice to hear 50 Cent's old In the Club hit going on the record. You know, it's
actually
nice.
not in the movie at all. Sorry.
I'm not surprised about that, to be honest with you. I'm sure they blew their wad just getting that in the trailer.
Worth it. It got me in.
It sure did. And I will say, if you're only seeing one scary movie this month, then go see Jigsaw, because that's where we'll be.
Hashtag not a paid promotion, but you're goddamn right. That's exactly where we'll
This
be.
episode is sponsored by Jigsaw.
Did do puzzles.
Get
bitch.
cut.
Oh.
So I do.
There will be blood.
While we're talking about bad B horror movies, and this is in no way, shape, or form an endorsement, and I'm not telling you guys to watch this because I don't want you pissed at me. I like our friendship. I do not want it to end. Have you watched 13 Demons on Netflix?
No, but I have wanted to.
I'm sure that our audience is really sick about us bitching about this movie. You had an entire episode about it. I know that. However,
Well, here's part 2, motherfuckers.
By the time you're hearing this, Adrian and I have come up with our goal. We've come up with our amount, and we're going to get to it. If you guys hit the stretch goal on our Patreon, we're going to get this cranked out. We're going to have influences and help from all of the members of the Artful Gremlins. And then once we get that taken care of, we're actually going to crowdfund this thing. So I'm going to ask you guys completely on spec right now. Would you guys like to be in a remake of a movie that literally just came out?
You're
Yes.
goddamn right we would.
Yes,
We're
I will
already in.
fly
Right
out
on,
there.
man.
Yes. I will
Because
say...
we're going to be casting in some way, shape, or form when we get... I'm not going to say if. I'm going to say when we get to this point. We're going to be casting everybody that we've worked with that has the time or wants to be down for this. You know, even if they just show up as a head on Skype. You know, I'll contact Maven. I'm like, hey, do you want to have an appearance on there? Maybe uncredited or something like that. Throw something up on IMBD. We're going to throw Maven of the Eventide up there. Anthony and Amanda from Irrational Fears. You want in? Let's get you guys in.
I will be the star.
So, just to fill you guys in, the audience knows what we're talking about because we spent an entire fucking episode about it. This movie was an abortion of a movie. It was such a cool idea, such a cool concept, but the movie was damn near unwatchable. There's so much potential that was just left there on the table that Adrian and I, in the spur of the moment, decided, you know what? We can write a better version of this, and we can remake it, and we can make it right.
Can we remake Cult of Chucky, too?
It's like The Room all over again. I love it.
Right? Yeah, kind of like The Room all over again. Only, you know, we're not going to make it about the making of 13 Demons, although that is a cool idea. But so what we're doing is we're setting up a stretch goal on our Patreon. Once we hit it, we're actually going to sit down and we're going to hammer out the screenplay.
Nice.
We've already talked about some of the ideas of how we want to do this, where we want to go, and we're going to be working on the screenplay. Once it gets to that point,
The Scream
we're going to
play.
talk with the Scream play. That's right. So once we get to that point, we're going to talk with a lot of our patrons on there. We're just going to kind of pitch some ideas. We're going to make some alterations. Then we're actually going to start up a Kickstarter to make this movie. So we're at the point where we're just telling everybody, this is what we're doing. We're going to make this happen one way or the other, and it's going to be completely fan-generated.
I'm so down with the idea, it's not even fucking funny.
Right on, man. I love it. I love it.
Also, is like just to run on your Netflix situation, just so you are aware of like what's going on with Netflix recently. Cult of Chucky, do not watch if you respect your time and your life.
I already watched it. I watched it like 3 days ago.
I still haven't, and I probably will, but
I'm sorry.
I'm not a huge fan of the as of late Chucky movies.
I loved it, or I loved them, so it was very difficult for me. But I will say, have you seen Babysitter?
I've not seen Babysitter yet. No. I did just finish wrapping up. As far as the timeline in real life goes, this episode is recorded the day after I recorded with Madison. So last night I sat down to watch Creep because off mic she was really
God, that movie is so
hard.
good.
They're making a
She
sequel.
was really recommending it, and I got about halfway through last night before I'm like, it is 2:00 in the morning. I've got to be up in 4 hours. I need to sleep. So when I'm done recording with you guys, I'm gonna go finish it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, and then they're dropping a sequel very soon.
Right on.
Yeah.
What I've seen of it, I absolutely love.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Mange or Mr. Happy Tooth or whatever, the name of the mask. Ugh.
Yeah. I'll never look at Pete the same again.
Oh God, no. Oh God, no. Especially, dude, that guy's in the fucking Mindy Project. I'm used to seeing him in comedic roles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
weird.
League.
I'm like, I've always wanted to hug you, man, and now I don't want to hug you, and it makes me sad.
Now when I see you at cons, I'm gonna run, and that's your fault. Oh fuck.
So, yeah, that's where I've been at right now. I'm a couple of days behind, but I'm going to catch back up. I have been observing the 31 days of Halloween. I've been stretching my time, and I've barely been sleeping, but this is the month, man. This is the month to immerse yourself in horror. Immerse yourself in that which scares you. To just watch the horror movies. Indulge in the online horror. Indulge in the creepypastas. You know, this is the time to get scared. The pumpkin spice is flowing. Why not let the fear flow with it? That's my mindset, you know?
That's the way it should be. You need to October's not a month for just like living your life. October's the month for scaring the shit out of yourself.
That's right.
31
That's
days.
right.
That's it.
Because it makes you live your life better.
You're goddamn right it does.
It really does. So, is there anything else you want to tell the audience? Because we're actually going to cap this episode. This is going to end up being a two-parter. And when we're off the mic, we're going to work together on when we're going to drop the episodes, because I want to drop these simultaneously. So we've talked with you guys. We've talked about what you've been doing, what you've been watching, how you've been living October. Actually, Anthony, I don't think we talked about how you've been living October.
He hasn't been living.
My free time is literally...
Girl.
I wake up, I go to work, I get home from work, and then I record or I edit or I unpack some shit. But
Happy October.
the second half of my month is all going to be catching up on all these horror video games that I haven't finished.
Killing the cat.
Yes.
Right on.
That's
Oh
all
yeah,
I
we're doing a big Halloween stream, video game stream, horror video game stream.
Yes.
That
What
took
are you
a
guys
lot
playing?
of tries to say.
I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking while Sailor's at work, I'm going to jump into Metro Redux because I never finished Metro 2033, and I know that the beginning of that game scared the shit out of me. But I'm open for whatever people want us to play.
We also never finished Alan Wake, and we have Outlast, the first one.
May I?
Yes, you may.
Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
We got that requested a lot.
Yeah, I've been putting that one off.
Let's do it. We can do it when
just
I get
because it's
home.
on my PC, so I'm gonna have to make some arrangements. But
it's incredible.
Yeah.
That game is incredible. It's so Lovecraftian. It's so slow burn. Outlast is a great game as well. I mean, I'm thinking about games that Brooke has not been able to sit down and finish with me. That would include PT, if you guys still have a PS4 with PT on it.
Unfortunately,
I'm lucky enough to have it. PT is up there. Outlast is up there. Whistleblower, which is the DLC to Outlast, that's up there. But Amnesia: The Dark Descent, that game has pacing. That game is terrifying.
That game's as far as I've avoided watching, because I sit and I watch fucking like Markiplier or whoever I want to watch play through horror games. Amnesia's one I've never watched through because I know I have to experience it firsthand. And
That's right.
Got to find the time to do it.
That is a game that you have to sit back and let it happen to you, man. All over your face, neck, and chest. That is what you should do.
That's the plan. That's it then. Halloween, I'll be playing Metro by myself, and as soon as Sailor gets home, we'll hop on Amnesia so you can watch us scare the shit out of ourselves 100%.
You hear that, guys? We're ready. We're ready. It's happening. It's happening. Irrational Fears live stream. Where can we find it?
YouTube, but I don't have a fancy URL because it's youtube.com/channel/capital U, capital C. No, it's going to be on YouTube. We're called Irrational Fears there. That's where it's going to happen.
We'll do what we can do to get you your URL in the meantime, man. We got a couple of weeks. We'll see what we can do.
Bang, bang.
All right, so we're going to talk off mic. We're going to release our episode with you and I. We're going to release it the same day that you release the episode that I'm going to feature on, because this is going to become a two-parter, and you guys are going to have to go to two separate spots to hear the full thing.
Count them, 1, 2.
You started off with part 1 over here. Now part 2 is going to be on the Irrational Fears stream. So we'll work on that. But by the time you're listening to this, just go over to Irrational Fears, listen to part 2.
Yeah.
Damn right.
So just in case they're not going to do that, or in case they're like, fuck, dude, I saw this was a half hour. I only have X amount of time. Where can they find you? Where can they listen to your shit, man?
www.irrationalfearsproject.com.
That's it.
Boom. Drop the mic.
Dropped.
It happened. And if you guys need to know yet again where to find us, it's Nerdynomicon across the board, man. It's Twitter at Nerdynomicon, Nerdynomicon at gmail.com, Facebook.com/Nerdynomicon, YouTube.com/Nerdynomicon. We talk about a whole bunch of shit there. Check out the new batch. We're having a lot of fun with that project over there. And especially to those new listeners that we've got, we have a Patreon. If you didn't pick that up from the talk that we talked about earlier, we have a Patreon.com/Nerdynomicon. Go over there, check out the stretch goal. We really want to make 13 demons, but this time we're going to do it right.
14 demons.
Yes, we're going to increase the number of demons. We might even call them... It might be 21 demons by the time we're done with it. We're just going to have Demon Palooza. We're just going to throw a demon over there, demon over there.
Cock.
No, but seriously, we're having a lot of fun over there. Early access to all of our shows, videos, and podcasts, man. You get all of it over there. So this is going to take us out of this episode, but check out Irrational Fears, like I said, because there's a part 2 to this.
That's true.
So,
while you're there, maybe we'll find out what scares you. I got that little plug in there. You like that?
Slide him right in.
So until you guys meet us over there, or until our next episode, I've been Robbie.
I've been Anthony.
I'm still Amanda.
Hey.
Let's close this book and open up another one over on your channel.
Let's do it.